I want to teach you guys how I have my video and photo settings on the Sony a6500. Stay tuned to the whole video to see all my settings. So on the Sony a6500, I'm on manual over here. So I run things pretty straightforward. I change things based on the location of my shooting. So if I'm shooting, depending on what I'm shooting, I change how the settings are based on the location for the best possible image. And then if we go to our first custom one, and then custom 2 will be next. This is my 4K 24 FPS. So you can see over here, the first thing I want to point out, it's 24p 60, and then these I just keep them for how it is, 1/60th 1.8, and then ISO is auto. But I usually change that depending on the scene of my actual shooting. So let's actually go into the menu over here for the first preset. So as you can see, once we get into the menu, I do my file format is a6500 4K, and like I said before, it's 24p 60m, and that is actually the 35mm option. That's the crop, and then there are other options here, but I just prefer the 4K option over here. And then autofocus track sense is responsive, and then everything else is default. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I keep the zebras off because I don't want to have a distraction. If we go to our number 2, this is my 120p and 60 again. This is just random. I just change that every single time I get onto this mode. So let's go to the menu, and let's go into the shooting. Okay, one too far. The file format is a6500, and then it's 120p and 60m. This is actually not the super 35mm crop. Pretty much everything else is, again, left onto the default setting. I don't really change much. I really like the stuff they're putting in as the default. And then let me just go to the color profiles. So I forgot to show you guys in the first one, but I'm still in the second one. And the color profile that I'm using here, if I just find it, there it is. Color profile, I'm using color profile 6. So if we go press the ISO button, I'm using the color gamut C2, and the color mode is Pro. And this is my favorite color gamut for now. Probably change soon. And then the Pro, again, color mode, that's what I feel is the best for me. And then for number 2 over here, I have number 1 over here. I'm gonna go menu. And then color profile, I keep it off. I don't, like I said in a previous video, I keep it as raw as I can, because then I just change colors after in post-production if I had to. But otherwise, this camera does pretty good image. So that's pretty much it. Those are my 2 custom film settings. That's how I actually film on the Sony a6500. My 1 is my 4K, and my slow-mo 1080p is my number 2. And then I just left these default for now. Autofocus, or my focus settings are in C2 right here, and then C1 is my white balance. So I just keep things default. I definitely will be changing these things shortly, and I'll make sure to show you guys updates of that. But for now, this is how my a6500 looks when I film. And also take manual photos. I don't use any of these, except pano. Trying to get into that. It looks pretty cool, but manual is what I do at all times.